base, right? Those things are not very clear, and that is the part because I couldn't work on it. And other than that, it's good.
Okay.
I can
So what
improve.
you, yeah, Raghu, I just want to understand how do you, in the sense, I know that Monica comes from a, she is part of the AI COE and she comes more on from the DS side of things. Just wanted to understand how do we manage this when they have doubts. Of course, Monica, please feel free to drop in your queries wherever you're stuck, just to make sure that it doesn't hinder your growth. What can we do, Raghu? How do we handle this?
Okay, yeah. So good question. So what we can do? So probably one thing is that. So in case if you want to check with me in the next session, you can do a check with me. So the first like 5-10 minutes, like whatever the questions are, uh, or you want me to have a doubt session. Let's start little early, like 10-15 minutes prior to the session. Also, I'm available, so we can start like 15 minutes in advance. So that is one thing, and then. So during your practice and all these things, in case if you're stuck anything, so probably so you can send out an email, and as soon as I'm free, I'll try to reply. So if that is okay with you.
Okay. Is there any other things, guys, which we need to talk about with respect to? Okay, so just wanted to put it out. The pace in which the class has been conducted, is that do we need to hasten it up or is it fine? That's something which I want to know.
Yesterday, Mahesh, honestly, it was little bit fast when there were like a lot of commands. But like there are a lot of commands that are to be these, everything were to be covered. But there was a little struggle in typing everything all at once. But
Okay.
means if we have to do typing fast and everything, then it was quite amazing.
Okay, so for that, what we've done is I know that sometimes it gets a bit difficult for you to do it on the fly. For that, I think we've requested Raghu to basically create a dump of those commands also that has been provided and it can put in the team repository for everyone to see. So we will make sure that happens so that you don't miss any commands. It's easier for you to practice later also. And Raghu, I think it's a very good idea to actually have probably a 15-minute group up before the session starts, where in which folks can get their doubts cleared. It would be anything with respect to the classes conducted prior. If they're stuck somewhere, I think it's a good idea to have a 15-minute doubt clear session so that things move ahead. They don't get stuck wherever they are. I think that's good. Guys, are we good at it, or do we have any other queries which we need to get over now so that we can get going? Anyone might, it would be the smallest doubt. It's just fine because this course needs to be a thorough one. It is going to lay a foundation for a lot of the other courses which are going to come up further. So let's just make sure we make the best use of the time now.
So Mahesh, I was thinking if we could do parallelly, then it will be good. If we get 1 to 3 minutes in between.
I didn't get you, Himani. Can you repeat that?
If we do the hands-on parallelly, like with Raghu itself, so it will be good. If we get some time to do in the class itself.
Okay. You feel that the pace is a little fast? Is that the thing what you're saying?
Little fast, yes. So if we also do, then it will be good.
We should do that. I think that will be helpful because the flow will definitely help.
Yes,
Raghu,
actually I'm
doing,
but sometimes the pace is fast, so I couldn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Probably we will do one thing. So every 10-15 minutes, I'll just slow down. I'll stop at that. So whoever trying to do parallelly, I'll just check with everyone, and then if you're all on the same page, then we'll go to the next topic. Yeah.
Yes, sure.
So guys, do we have anything else, or will we get going with the class today? All right. I think let's take that silence through and get going with the class, Raghu.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Mahesh.
Raghu, I might drop off. I am down with a bad fever from the what do you call vaccination yesterday. I don't think I will survive the class today, but I'll go through the training later once I'm well. Apologies, guys.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Mahesh. So please
Okay.
take care. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So thank you, everyone. So thanks for that. So definitely what we'll do from tomorrow onwards, we will try to start a little early, 15 minutes. It's optional, just in case if you have any other meetings and you have any other conflicts, feel free to drop and join at the right time. Just whoever having any questions, anything, so only those guys can join, and then we will try to have it out clearance session 15 minutes, like 3:45 p.m. IST is what we'll try to start. And yeah, and also I'll share my email address as well, so just in case or if you are feel want to send out an email, you can send out an email, and then whenever I have time, I'll try to respond to you. You don't need to wait for the session as well. And then so we're trying to do parallelly also. We will try to do together. Then I think definitely that's an interactive way that you and we, I mean myself, will work together, because everybody will be having some different questions, different doubts. It will be helpful for others also to know so what was the issue and how it was resolved. So this way the subject will be clear, and then we'll get some confidence as well, because we're dealing with multiple tools and technologies required from the business point of view. Thank you. Thanks all. So today we will start with one of the exciting and important topic called monitoring. So I'll probably discuss about different monitoring solutions we have, and then one random monitoring tool we will take, a very popular one called Nagios, and then we'll try to understand the domain architecture about the monitoring tool and as well as the Nagios monitoring tool, and then so we will do installation from scratch on a mission, and then different ways of installation, different products available from the Nagios point of view. Then we'll do a deep dive inside the monitoring section. So probably we'll try to cover that in 2 hours session, but I don't think we can cover that. So in case if that is the case, we will try to extend that by tomorrow also. Yeah. So let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, yeah. So before we jump onto the presentation and discuss about that, I will probably start with actually a very basic stuff. Nagios wiki. We'll go to the Nagios wiki. We'll try to understand so what is exactly this Nagios and what is why it is so popular, all this stuff. I think most of us know what do you mean by monitoring, but again, I also will discuss the different ways, the concepts in monitoring, and then why it is so important in the DevOps platform. That so why we have to check a monitor, set up a monitor, all that stuff. So I just on the wiki page of Nagios, Ethan Galstead. So I might have known this person, or if it is the first time, if you're know this thing. So he's actually the original author of this monitoring solution, very popular monitoring solution called Nagios. But again, this is an open source monitoring tool, also having enterprise edition. Now, if you search for monitoring tools in the market, as of now, a list of monitoring tools. So just randomly searching for some list of monitoring tools. So list is very big. So randomly we got like Datadog, Progressing, and then PRTC, Site 24/7, and then Nagios 11, etc. The best, the popular monitoring tools. And we'll try to filter it out. I'm only looking for open source monitoring tools. So list of open source monitoring tools. So again, nowadays, Prometheus, might have heard about it. This is an open source monitoring solution, primarily used in the containering part. Also, we have seen Zabbix, Nagios, Isinger, Cacti. So many monitoring solutions are there in the open source. And some clients, they use enterprise monitoring solutions. List of enterprise monitoring tools. So list is very big again in the monitoring enterprise area. So one is Dynatrace, very top monitoring solution in enterprise editions. So even I read recently that they also introduced a new monitoring tool which works on artificial intelligence. So it will understand our environment, and then it will learn the environment based on the logs and the response, and then which component, which infra service is important. Based on that, it will advise and suggest and check the monitor. So very innovative solution from Dynatrace. So very complex environment, people generally go for Dynatrace kind of monitoring tools. I'm not saying there are other monitoring tools not available, but right now, this is one which I have come across, one of the top in the table. Also, we have Logic Monitor, Datadog, enterprise areas, Fusion, and Nagios 11. Again, this is enterprise edition, not a free edition. Apart from this thing, there are some SaaS-based services also available in monitoring solutions. So SaaS-based, that means you don't need to install any agent and anything on your environment or a software to set up at your data center. You can just go with some patch installations or some agent at yourself. Some main monitoring server will be there at their end. It's URL based. And then you'll be having a console wherein you can log in and you can start monitoring all your application servers, infrastructure components, etc. So SaaS-based services. So list of SaaS-based monitoring solutions. So inside this thing, list is very big. App Dynamics, some of you might have heard about it, and then New Relic. So very popular SaaS-based monitoring solutions. Basically, the cloud monitoring. So people call it as like cloud monitoring, because all that agent and everything is what will be installed at our end, and everything through console you'll be able to log in and monitor stuff. So this some CA unified infrastructure monitoring, Site 24/7. List is again, it's a very big. The site scope you might have also again. So many other. The list is SaaS-based. I think New Relic is one of the very popular one, which I've actually come across was using by different clients. So 3 categories we have discussed. One is enterprise edition monitoring solutions on-prem, which you can buy from different vendors and install in your environment, and then set up your own monitoring domain and start monitoring your tools and technologies and services and components. Other one is open source. So there is no license for those monitoring solutions. So it is you who is responsible for the availability and complexity, configuration, everything. Documentation is available. Start setting up your monitoring solutions and then monitor your own domain at your risk. The other one is SaaS based. Again, as I told you, this is also comes with some commercials. So agent will be available, which has to be installed RPM based packages or Windows exe based or anything, which will be installed in their environment and start monitoring. But again, New Relic is very popular for the APM, application performance monitoring, not very popular for infrastructure monitoring. Just for information, FI. So I will just quickly go through the Nagios. It's a very big domain, but what is exactly the Nagios here? So it's a monitoring solutions from the Nagios vendor, very popular, came like into the market around 2 decades ago, right? So 2001 and 2, it came into the market. So they also have enterprise edition, community edition also available. So they have different solutions based on the client environment and complexity. So they have already been driving a lot of projects inside your Nagios. So what it can do, it can help us identify the issues and resolve those to not to lead outages, reduce the incident time. And so that's the whole purpose of our monitoring. So it can help us to manage our entire infrastructure, including servers, which is there in cloud, on-prem or VM, network, applications, hardware. And then it also helps us to collaborate different teams located in different time zones so that we can learn from our monitoring solutions and then reduce the downtime, etc. So you can plan ahead and then save the time for the client and the business. So rest everything is easier. So there are different products available from Nagios. One is Core. We call it as Nagios Core, which is a community driven or proven open source project from Nagios. So this is one is what which we will try to discuss today and install and then do a deep dive and learn this product. Also, they have a core student and pro. This is having some extended features comparatively. And 11 is this is the commercial grade monitoring tool, which we have to buy at some XYZ cost. Also, they have some Fusion product. This is a distributed monitoring solution. So what do you mean by that is, for example, we have 2 data centers. Let's say that one in Mumbai and one in Bangalore. And then if you go ahead and set up a Nagios server in Mumbai, so Mumbai data center will be now monitored under this monitoring solutions. Same thing with Bangalore data center. Now suddenly one of the Nagios server which is down in Mumbai because some hardware failure or some XYZ. So you will be ending up having no monitoring available for Mumbai data center. So this is not a welcome thing. So how do you address that? So you have Bangalore data center where you also have installed this kind of monitoring solutions from Nagios. So Fusion, and when you have this, this product is what it will do. It will help us to monitor the Mumbai data center in case if there is some problem with the so-and-so Nagios server in the Mumbai data center. So you also have a centralized dashboard to view both Bangalore and Mumbai together. No need to worry about that. I have to log into respective data centers monitoring servers to understand the status of all your monitoring checks. Apart from this thing, Nagios also having a lot of other solutions for analyzing the network, finding the latency issues and to avoid bottlenecks or any etc. And then incident managers also available, which will help us to track all the alerts and incidents triggered in the entire infrastructure across the different teams and etc. You also have a product called log server. So now you might have heard about log analyzers, log shipper tools. Popular tools are like Splunk. You might have heard about it. So what exactly it will do? It will have an agent in our servers which will ship the logs from our servers to the so and so centralized log servers, which will in advance it will analyze the logs, and then it will, in case if there are errors in an application or a product or a tool, it will immediately create an alert and sends an email based on the subscription and everything to the respective owners of that. So this is what I'll give you one example. For example, a user is trying to log in to an application, but is having a issue, only that user. So if it is triggered in the log, immediately you'll get an alert. So before the user comes to you saying that I'm having an issue, you will be trying to address that issue ASAP. In case if it is some, let's say, user ID issue, a login issue, or it is your end, if it is not user end, but infrastructure end or application side end. So you can route to the respective team so that it will improve the customer relationship, and then customer really will be benefited out of it. So this is one product also in the market right now. Nagios is also offering that solution, and then you also have a reactor which will try to reduce the human intervention, automate the complex process. So let's discuss about Nagios Core, which is a topic, which is an open source monitoring engine. So we will try to install that and schedule some alerts and customize those alerts, develop our own checks, and then we'll try to also search in some of the Nagios repository to find out a plugin which can probably need a complex solutions, or write our own scripts. We call it as like developing some plugins. So that we will try to do as part of this session. So yeah, since I think 99,000 millions of users are contributing, thousands of plugins available. Any product you take, like any open source product, it will become popular not because it is a super duper product. It actually becomes popular because of the particularly like this plugins availability or contribution from the community. And then because of the vintage in the market, the product might have evolved to meet the actually today's market need. So there are some people says that there are some very good monitoring tools in the monitoring area apart from Nagios. Why people always talks about Nagios? So that kind of comments you will be seeing. But yeah, I'm not saying that Nagios is a foolproof monitoring tool. There are some improvement areas also available here, but it is popular. And there was a survey conducted somewhere in 2014 or 15, I guess, across all the open source tools. Forget about monitoring. Which is the popular open source tool which is actually downloaded most as of now by all the people across the community, and surprisingly it is Nagios. So you can imagine the popularity of this particular product. So it is popular because of the plugins development. Today, any vendor you take, let's say RabbitMQ or ActiveMQ or any other, just I'm giving you randomly a couple of tools. So if they are releasing their product in the market, they are actually bound to release a plugin at Nagios so that it can monitor their product. So you can imagine the popularity of that. That market coverage it is having in the open source area. So when we install Nagios, so through CGA scripts, we can access our Nagios dashboards through web browser. There are different views available, which we'll be discussing after installation. But this is typically how the Nagios dashboard looks like. So on the left-hand side, you will be having some navigation panel and options, wherein we can look at host services, and what are the problems currently right now we have in our environment or system, etc. And the top right hand side, we can look at the performance of all your entire Nagios product. Then in the top you can also see the tactical monitoring view, and then so far how many servers were down. Let's say you have 1,000 servers in your environment, or also out of them how many are down, unreachable. And then so out of all the services, let's say you're trying to monitor CPU, you're trying to monitor memory or networking, all this stuff. So we can check it out all this at a single tactical overview dashboard. So if you want to know more details about that, so you can mouse over there and then click on that service, which will be redirected to the service details pages. So which can help us to find out more details about the so and so services. A snapshot of this. So you can go ahead and find out, investigate about their service. Also, there are some service commands available through CGA. Suppose I want to disable this checks for some time because there is a deployment available. I want to not to create any noise in our environment. So which will create some alerts, and then it will send to the entire our team or the entire organization. So I can go ahead and schedule some that, or I can disable for some reason, or I can stop accepting some active checks or passive checks. We'll discuss what are they in the coming stuff. So these are the things which you can also do from your UI in the sense like your dashboard. So you don't need to log into the backend Windows or Linux servers, manually do some changes. So some frequently doing those whatever the operations which we do, so that you can also carry from your dashboard side as well. Also, you can view the graph and network map. For example, like now you have different devices, routers, network, firewall. So what Nagios will do, it will learn the entire network and it will create a map for us based on the parent-child relationship which we will create. So this will help us just in case if it is if it's a network stuff, and then if let's say this domain is down, so you can easily find out like which service is down instead of searching each and every check. So you have that advantage here. Reports is very important from the leadership point of view. So you have different reports. So for example, I want to get the availability of the entire our infrastructure for the last 1 month. So leadership really want to know the performance of the hardware and all the stuff. And then in case they'll take a call. So in case they want to scale up the environment. So these reports are very important. So for example, there is a server available. Let's say it's a database server. And if they saw that it is actually for the last 1 month that the usage of the CPU memory is more than 60, 70, or 80% constantly, and it is not coming down, but day by day it is increasing. So then they'll take a call of increasing the specific specs of the machine, adding more physical RAM, physical CPU, or basically scale up the entire layer of that particular database. So this trending report, all that stuff will help also this alert history report. So which application is really contributing for most of our incidents? So is it because of some code issue or an infrastructure issue? Why so many alerts are there? So all that stuff will be helping us, uh, helping the leadership to focus on then so and so point to stabilize the environment. So and is it a human error that they did something in the change probably, and that which actually contributed for triggering the so and so alert? So you can generate different types of reports, histogram, summary report, or notification reports using this Nagios Core. So this is some Nagios Core Student Pro having some other extra features apart from Nagios Core. And this is about Enterprise Edition. As I told you, right? So it comes with enterprise support. So it is definitely comparatively with your core. There will be some simplicity, user-friendly options will be available. You have all that advantage. So you can configure some wizards. It will be easy to use. So there are some dashboards also available through which you can customize or create your own view, deployable. All that stuff is possible, because which is not available in your main, the first that core product, the free one. Yeah. So because yeah, enterprise, you'll be having some extra luxury features or advanced features. So yeah, inside this thing, you can also have your own views. So NOS screen, like network operations center. If you really want to set up that kind of center, so you can create your own NOS screen. So you can also have your own URL for those dashboards. Some extra reports also can be generated comparatively with your core one. So as like notifications, capacity planning, everything is possible. It will advise you also. And then you can do some bulk modifications, bulk host cloning also inside your enterprise edition. Yeah, bandwidth report is also there, one extra stuff which is not available in core edition, which will help us to find out the traffic received by, let's say, our endpoints, the web layer. What was the traffic the last day, last week, last year, last month, etc. So auto discovery and capacity planning, that feature is also available, which will help us that, hey, this node, there are some something like probably you can take a call. There are some jobs discovered. So you really want to do some capacity planning by increasing so and so RAM, because the utilization is really increasing. It's basically proactive monitoring that to avoid any outages, because yeah, the memory utilization was shooted up to 100% and spike and etc. Yeah, so this is some enterprise level options we have. You can integrate with MySQL database or any backend API or your own product. If you have, can go for multi-tenancy, and then you can integrate with your Google Maps also, just to find out the locations of so and so data center and servers. So to have a nice view geographically, and then you can also do some BPI integrations, or you can install it your mobile. All the engineers also can now monitor your environment to mobile. Fusion, this is distributed monitoring solution. Very easy. So you can visualize the entire infrastructure, have your own centralized dashboards. That's the most the very popular feature of this Nagios Fusion product. So that in case if you have multiple data centers, having one centralized dashboard will help the leadership worldwide to monitor at a glance. Yeah, so this is Nagios Fusion dashboard, how it looks like. Different data centers. Network analyzer, again, enterprise solutions to monitor your network traffic, bandwidth, in-depth analysis also available, which will help you to create your own reports advanced visualizations, RTP like real-time reporting I'm talking about. Mostly it will be useful. So this RTP is a very complex reports, some advanced products. So those, let's say, for example, like in a banking product or any, if anybody, let's say you're accessing Paytm, all this I'm talking about, right? The money transaction data stuff. So this real-time reporting will help them to really know what is happening without any latency. So you can integrate all those tools also to create your own dashboards, create your own reports. And then this is an extra product in Incident Manager. So you don't need to again have a separate Incident Manager. Nagios comes with inbuilt Enterprise Edition. I'm talking about Incident Manager. So these are nice to have features which will help to manage our incidents and etc. here. Log servers. We just now discussing log management and monitoring. Organize and then create your own dashboards, set up your own alerts. And we proactively know, okay, let's say that our application is used, a global application, and a user from ASPAC, Pacific area is complaining something. You can really know what is wrong with that. So why only that particular area users are having issues. So this kind of like log servers will help you to narrow down the issues and then address that issue. So you can create a cluster in case if the log sizes which is generating by your environment is huge. So you want to scale up the environment, you can go for clustering by creating more number of log servers. Also, Nagios having this NCPA, the abbreviation is Nagios Cross Platform Agent. So what it means is Nagios can monitor not only Linux servers, but also it can monitor Windows servers. It can monitor Mac machines. Also, you can go for active passive. Now, what is exactly active passive? For example, I have a server here available, and I have a plugin which will help me to monitor a remote server. So this plugin at a frequent interval query the device, destination device, and it will share the metrics and stats of so and so server to my Nagios server. So we call this model as active check. So in active check, the plugin is available with me. With me means with my server itself. And in passive model, we don't have, I don't have plugin here. It is the end destination server's responsibility to share the metrics with me. Me means like my Nagios server. My responsibility is only to collect the details and display on the dashboard. That's it. So we call it as passive check. So depending on your architecture and technology, people go with active and passive monitoring too. Yeah, so Reactor is one more product from Nagios. So it's a beta edition is available as of now at Nagios, which will help you to automate the complex solutions and workflow rules. So you can also have your event chains and logs, etc. here. Some of the use cases of Reactor, handling network problems automatically without any human interventions, try to resolve that issues, and then dynamically respond to all those security events in case of any breaches happens, which will help you to reduce the hacking or any breaching into your network. Also, try to deploy some softwares to the network machines automatically. Scale up the cloud components in case if there is an increase in the load. All that stuff is possible with these reactors. Yeah. So I'm not going to discuss anything about their other offers. Yeah. So let's get into our practicals. So what we will do, we'll take one machine. We will name it as Nagios server. So then first part is installation. So I'll show you different ways of installation, and then I'll share that commands with you. So you take any machine and install that. So I'll give you some a few minutes to you to complete that exercise. Yeah. So I'm just going to my Amazon console, EC2 machine.
Raghu, can we use the same machine that we have created last 2 to 3 sessions?
Yeah, so we will use the same machine. That we will treat it as Nagios server. Then probably to monitor environment, yeah, we will try to use another machine or another stuff. I'll tell you when that comes. Yeah. So I'm going to my Amazon console. I hope everybody by this time, I guess they're familiar with this. I'm just renaming this thing as Nagios server. Okay, while it is booting up, I'll just go to the official site of Nagios. This is actually the official site of nagios.com. Enterprise commercialization. So wherein you can download the retail edition and etc. So we are talking about all these products, no? This is enterprise Nagios 11, log server, Fusion, different softwares available. But if you want, if I want like the free edition, that is what they are looking for it, right? So you can go to this site called nagios.org. Both sites looks very similar, but only the difference is when you just scroll down, you'll have an extra thing called Nagios open source. This is not there in nagios.com. So this is what actually very popular in the world. Everybody uses at least the small scale environment. Enterprise probably you have different products available, but a very popular one. Now inside this Nagios open source, we have how many 1, 2, 3, 4 downloads. So what is this one? This is the main core monitoring engine with some basic interface. So this is the download one. The second one is the plugins. I was talking about, right? There are hundreds of plugins available. Suppose if I have a BMW car, I want to monitor my BMW car from a Nagios. Can I do that? I mean, if I'm the Nagios author, what I'll tell you, you give me the plugin, I'll monitor. You means BMW has to give me plugin. That's it. Yeah. So, but anyway, we'll try to download some 50 plugins to start with. Later, we will see how to develop our own plugins. Also, search in the internet, the community to find out a plugin. Now, this is about Nagios Core front ends, some nice skins. So anyway, we have basic web interface, so we don't need another luxury front ends. It's okay. So that is core front ends, and then some add-ons. So some additional projects which Nagios Core functionality is driving, probably in beta edition. So we don't want to go there. And tomorrow, when you're satisfied, if you want to migrate to enterprise edition, yeah, you can do that also. I mean, that's how the business will do it. Generally, they'll give you free edition, and then later, if you want to move on to enterprise, then that is how you'll be doing that. So this is the download sections. I'll just leave it this spot, and we'll download directly from here only. Let me go to my Amazon site. Yeah, my machine is ready. So let me log in there. So we have some latest Apache edition in this machine, all that stuff. No? So in case if any problem comes, we will try to sort out that issue. So for the first time, I'm not downloading Nagios from my Amazon repositories. I'm trying to download from the official repository, official site only. This way you'll be knowing like how to download and all this stuff. So, but first of all, is it available in my Amazon this thing also? Let me just see. Mlist pipe Nagios. Some Nagios tang is there. I don't know what is exactly, so I'm not worried about that. So let me first go to EC2 folder, my home directory, create a Nagios folder, and let me go to that folder. So I am under /home EC2-user Nagios. So where I'll try to download the package. So go back to the portal. Now click on the download option. I just want to see, is there any link wherein I can download that? So you have this core edition and you also have enterprise. Enterprise anyway, I'm not going to download. That is a very heavy, huge product. So pre-edition, I'm trying to download. So probably when I try to download, it may ask me to subscribe to all this thing, provide my all this thing. Earlier, they used to not to provide this term. They used to have a button called skip. But nowadays, looks like they are asking to register this thing. But that's fine. It is your individual choice. I mean, anyway, I'm not trying to give my this thing. This is a mandatory thing. I agree. So let me see. Yeah, they did not validate anything. Just provide the inputs and then it is redirected to this page. So you have this 4.4.6 edition, and you also have 4.3.4. This is a stable edition. Always remember, whenever we try to download any software, we generally should follow a thumb rule, n-1. I mean, -1 is like previous stable edition. So one is core. This is about the latest edition 4, and you also have a latest version of release 3 also there. So very old edition, 2013, I think it is. That is when like it was released. So last year, April, they released, but like looks like 21, they did not release anything. Maybe pandemic might have affected their development growth. So I am trying to download 4.3.4. So this is the link. So what I'm trying to do, I'm not trying to download to local my laptop. So right mouse, copy the link address. Go to your Amazon machine. This is where we are, right? wget space, paste the link. So you might get some junk in the link. So I'm just removing all that junk. Okay.
Raghu, can you provide that link?
Okay, yeah, sure. I can do that. So let me just download first, then I'll give you the link. It is downloading. So I'm just providing in our chat. Yeah, here you go. I've given you that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so can use that link to download the software. Now untar it. tar-xz vf Nagios, that folder. So first thing is, yeah, this is my tar command. I'll try to do one thing. I'll try to paste the links in the chat. So when I unzip, we got a folder. And this is, do you remember? So we have this kind of thing. Day for yesterday also we have done this kind of exercise using make compiling. This is a source code. So now let me go to the official website. So we have this installation documentation. So just click on this. So Nagios is having libraries go through from where you can download all that stuff. So how this source has to be installed, a documentation is there. I'm just trying to open the documentation. So what I've done, like, because the documentation, it's a very big one. I just prepared my own notes. So let me upload this notes to you on the meeting itself. Anyway, I'll be placing in our drive also. I'll be sharing that with you later. But for now, you can refer this thing. So there is in the meeting itself, I'm just trying to upload this stuff. Okay, looks like I cannot directly upload a file, but it has to be in drive or something. That's fine. We'll do one thing. I'll try to give line by line for now. People who are practicing. First thing is prerequisites required to install Nagios. So these are some prerequisites. So what are they? One is duplicate. Anyway, we have HTTP is also there, but probably server, the edition, what do you call package, because we install 2.4, we may get some error, but we'll try to address that issue. And then some PHP is also there. So I think Vasti is already there. I don't need this. GCC is also there, but it's okay. Like, if it will overwrite just in case if it is there. So I'm just trying to install this in my machine. And then let me paste that in the meeting chat also, so that you can also install at your end. So I install those prerequisites. Now, this is plugins done. Okay, plugins. What do you mean by plugin? So we just now discussed plugins. So please also download those plugins. So that's what it is saying. So let me go to the website. So just go back to the previous page. The second one, the plugins. So this also we need to download. So we directly routed to this downloading section. So again, copy the link address, this plugins. Go back to my server. So let me download that plugins also. So I'll also give you this link to you. I'm under PWD, this folder. So we have the core engine, which was extracted, and plugins also there. Plugins, we are not doing anything for now. Let me go back to the notes. So before creating or installing Nagios, what it is saying that please create a user called Nagios. So user create, group create, and add that user to the group. So all this thing one by one we'll try to do. I'll also paste this in your chat. So user created, group created, added that user to the group. Now you might be wondering, the fourth command, Apache also we are adding as a user to the group, but where is Apache? We are not created, right? Yeah, it was created as part of HTTP installation. And yeah, please verify the user creation and everything. Yeah, so you can use this commands ID Nagios. It is created and it's part of this group, nice CMD. Untar is already done, so we can skip this step. Now start compiling Nagios Core. So this commands, please execute one by one inside the folder. I'm pasting in the meeting chat. Now, where is the inside the folder? We extracted this folder now. So go to that folder, Nagios 4.3.4.4. Inside that, try to compile. So configure, make install. So I'm just starting with this.
User add like permission denied.
Okay. When you try to create a user, you said you got permission denied.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, because I think you are not a root user. So is it root user? When you type who am I, it should say that it's a root user. What it is
Okay.
showing to you? Yeah. If it is not, just do sudo space su hyphen. Or you can prefix the command with sudo. Anything is fine, but always, and install any packages using root only. So I'll stop for a few minutes, but after this step, then everybody can complete this step. First thing is configuring employee. Configuring is done. Now make all.
Raghu, actually, I'm getting no rule to make target all stop.
No room to?
No rule to make target all.
So which command you are using? I mean, when
Make
you
all.
Okay, make all. So I think do you have enough space? Just do df-h.
Actually, I have created users inside Nagios 4.3.4 folder, not outside the Nagios folder.
Oh,
Is
that is
that
fine.
the issue?
That
Okay,
is
that
fine.
is fine.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
system level. Yeah,
Okay.
system level should not be having an issue.
Now tell me you are told something to say.
No. So can you just paste me the error in the meeting chat otherwise?
Sure.
Or is it okay? Like, can you do a screen share? We'll try to just quickly look into that screen if that is okay with you.
Okay. Even okay, I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Can you enable my screen sharing? So I'm post disabled.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yogesh, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, try now. Is it allowing you?
Yes, it's allowing. I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Not yet. Now, yeah, I can. Yeah. So this is your machine, right?
Yes. So I have executed make all. And it is saying make no rule to make target all stop.
Oh, so I think you're not actually configuring. Is it done? Configuring make all. First, I think you have to do configure. Just check the meeting notes. There is one configure command is there, the first one.
Okay, configure group. This one,
Yeah.
right? Configure with command group.
Yeah. Just to control C. Control C. Just come out of now paste it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now it's happening. Okay, sorry,
Oh,
man.
and no. Yeah.
I'll install the
Yeah.
rest.
Yeah. You can stop. Yeah. Anyone else having any issues? Okay. So we'll continue. What is the thing we have done? We just did make call. So I'm just proceeding with the next one. Make install. So make install. Install under user local Nagios folder by default, and then set up a startup script. Unit script is installed, and then set up some configure script. Make install config. So it actually did like CFG files. So we'll discuss that CFG files, and then also set up some command modes. Command modes is configured. Also now integrate with your Apache. Install webconf. Then so Apache configuration file is also installed. Now there are some event handlers available. We try to copy those event handlers to the installed folder called user local Nagios lib execution. What is event handlers? We'll talk about that. So because you just copied from the source, why don't you apply permissions to those event handlers folder? Yeah, done. ch4. So now our this thing is ready. So verify the Nagios configuration. Okay, by the way, I'll give you these commands. These two commands you need to complete it your side, right? These two commands. After that, verification. So this is very popular one, this verification. So in the CLS side, you can also troubleshoot like how many servers are configured, how many services are configured, etc. Everything using this command. How many in your in total environment, how many warnings, etc. We'll paste that also in the meeting chat. Sorry, I just given you the entire output. 1 second. We can ignore the last one. This one. So now start the service. So you can find out all this thing in the official documentation also, but that that will be very lengthy and you have to read that. So much stuff is there. I started the Nagios daemon. Also because the front ending part is Apache Web Edition, HTTPD. So service HTTPD start. So both are started. So in case if I want to protect our Nagios this web console with a password, this is the command. So we will set up that with our at some test password. So HT password, this one. So I'm just giving a password test. This is just optional stuff. Yeah. So we are now done with the core engine installation. But what about plugins? Plugins is not done. Huh? So come out of this folder. We have this plugins tarball now. Under this tar xzvf. This thing. So you got a new folder now. Go to that for plugins folder. So you have this all the plugins section. So again, same stuff. So go to the folder, install plugins and everything. I'll just paste you that in the meeting chat as well. So again, do configure and make install. So this is for the plugins. So make and then make install. So plugins also now installed. So this is protection gate setup to configuring the Nagios at the auto startup option. Not mandatory here, but anyway, we can use that as well. So I'm just checking Nagios stuff here and then starting this Nagios. Also, HTTP.
Raghu, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So at which step do we find these Nagios plugins?
Okay, so let me show you. So we extracted this Nagios plugin folder zip file also, right? So have you done that?
So we did not download it. I think I don't see that in the chat actually.
Oh, is it? Okay. So
no, it's there. It's there in the chat. Yes. You can follow.
Yeah, I can see it. It's my mistake. Thank you.
Oh, right.
Raghu, can you share that check config comments?
Oh yeah, sure. So this add is not mandatory. If it's already there, it will throw error. Only on is important. Nagios on, distribute on is important. So what it is just for configuring a Nagios to auto restart whenever in the future in the production servers, if it restarts. So even if they don't work also, it's okay. It's anyway, we are doing POC only, no?
But for HTTPD, I'm getting an error, like error reading information on service HTTP. No such file or directory.
Okay. Which HTTPD? What is
Check config --- add HTTPD.
Okay, so can you type this which HTTPD and so just check it out whether HTTP is installed or not. Which space HTTPD?
SBIN/HTTPD.
So it is there, right? So
yeah.
Okay, so it's okay. Like you can just ignore for now because yeah, this is like kernel latest edition. This is not actually working properly.
Fine.
So that's the end of our installation. I think hope you remember your password.
Yes.
Yeah. So now take the public IP address of your machine. curlibconfig.co. You can use this command to get the public IP. So this is my public IP. I'm going to my browser. /Nagios. So what's the username? Username was Nagios admin. I given password as test. So this is my Nagios core installation, server installation, and this is my dashboard. So I'll wait for a couple of minutes so that everybody is done with their installation and reached this place.
Raghu, for me, it is saying the server URL is not found on this server.
Yes, even I am also getting the same error, not found. The requested URL was not found on the server.
Okay, we will try to troubleshoot one of you.
Okay.
Yeah. So who is getting error? Is it?
Yeah,
Yogesh. Yogesh, okay. 1 second.
Do I need to share my screen again?
Yeah, please. Okay. So what's your public IP? Your public IP is this thing, right?
Yeah, public IP 13.233.102.226.
Okay. So I think is port 8 is open. Go to AWS. Let's check the security configuration. Which one you're using? Default or like training, right? Yeah. HTTPD is...
No, not this one. Sorry. Launch wizard.
Okay. I'll scroll down. 80 is there.
80 is there.
Okay, yeah, it is there. I think it should allow. Go to the machine.
Which machine? Putty?
Putty console, yeah.
Yes.
So just show me that Nagios is working. PS-EF pipe grep Nagios.
Yes, cipher.
EF. No, E for elephant. Yeah, F for France. Pipe. A pipe symbol. This grep. Nagios. And yeah, Nagios is running. Use up arrow and rename that Nagios with HTTPD. There's an up arrow on your keyboard, no? So get the same command.
Okay.
Yeah. Remove that Nagios and type HTTPD. Okay, both HTTPD and Nagios is running. Now do curl space.
Curl.
Yeah. ifconfig.co. ifconfig.co. Enter. So what's IP address?
No, it's not written yet.
Okay, take the IP address from the console, Amazon console or website. So go to that. Go to EC2 machine and just want to confirm is that the IP address. So you are looking. Okay, 226 only, right?
Yes.
Okay, without Nagios, only supply that. Enter.
No, blank screen.
Okay, on the machine, do curl space HTTP.
For me, without Nagios, Apache is running.
Oh, for you it is running, right? I think for
Yeah.
you then I think Nagios might be down. Just
Okay.
see service space Nagios space start.
Okay.
Curl, yeah, you guys like curl HTTP colon / no URL. I just want to give the URL. Don't give D. Yeah, just HTTP colon / localhost. Yeah, / Nagios. Enter.
The requested URL was not found on the
Oh,
server.
you need just you have 2 front slashes of HTTP, no? The same thing.
Still same error.
Okay.
Do I need to pass port ID? 80 or 80?
No, not required. It is actually running on 80 only, no?
Yes.
So just stop Nagios one service space Nagios stop. Also HTTPD also stop. Yeah, Monica, you can run check config wherever you want to. Yeah. Service HTTPD stop.
Can I restart again?
Yeah, just see. Start with Nagios first. Okay, now only go to the browser and just refresh. Okay, so yeah, try this.
Oh, now it's okay.
Okay, yeah. Nagios admin. Maybe I think restart
Yes.
helped you. Yeah.
Yes, I think. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a message from Rakesh. Rakesh, check config. Yeah, you can
The
ignore.
same error for me.
You can ignore that. So that actually not mandatory. It's a production grade configuration. So it's okay. Like you can ignore that. Check config.
And that HTTPD, okay, every command can be ignored because this HTTPD also is giving me the error, no such file or directory.
It's fine. It's okay. Check config, like it is not actually true in some machines.
And this curl command is to be run from this location only, in the unzipped R folder plugin.
Plugin folder. You're not install plugin.
I have installed. I am inside Nagios plugin 2.3.3. So I have to run this curl command from here, correct?
So curl. So which can you just what was the exact total command? Curl space.
This ifconfig.co.
Oh yeah, that is only to get the public IP of the machine. Yeah, you can run anywhere. No problem.
Okay.
Curl space ifconfig.co.
Okay, so I
If
have
it is,
got that.
yeah. So instead
Thanks,
of
Raghu.
me, yeah, thanks. So instead of
This,
like yeah, go ahead.
sorry.
So Raghu, I think I have left a little behind. So once we have got this IP, then we have logged into the AWS, right?
Correct.
Then what to do?
1 second. Otherwise, so Monica,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you want
Sure.
to screen share? Yeah, 1 second. So let me give you permission.
The thing is, I have got the public IP, correct?
Correct. Yes. So if you know the
So,
public
but,
IP, that's
yes.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, you are. If you want, you can do a screen share, Monica. Otherwise, if it's working, we can leave it.
But I just wanted to know what to do with this IP. Actually, my net went off,
Okay.
so that is why.
Oh, is it? Okay. So, so you have to type that in your browser, http:// public IP
Okay, okay.
/ Nagios. That's it. Yeah. Perfect.
For me, restarting the Nagios server worked, Raghu. So,
Oh, is it? Okay, Rakesh. Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyone having any issues in setting up Nagios server? Okay. So this is our actually the basic web interface. Okay. So in case if you want a fancy, a colorful, or a complex web interface, you can get it. But that is fine. Mostly, in industry, people use web interface, the basic one only. And the left hand side, so if you want to learn about Nagios, you have this, home documentation. So many options are available. So tactical overview, we were just discussing, right? So just click on this tactical overview. Right now, only we are not configured anything in the machine on the Nagios product, right? So that's the reason only one server, that is Nagios itself. It is actually showing all this data, etc. And the second option on the current status is map. This is a legacy environment, but a legacy model, but we don't have anything, no? So in case, let's say you have 100 servers, so that entire picture will be shown based on the parent-child resolution. So here we don't have anything, so we have a daemon process and our only one local host. That's the reason only this is showing here. The other one is groups. Host. Yeah, the third one. So when I click on host on the right-hand side, it will list all the configured host. Hosts are nothing but your cloud servers or physical machines, database server, web server, app servers, some XYZ servers. Right now, only one single host is configured because we did not do any customizations yet. So when I click on this local host, now it is giving me more details about this host. So when is the system is configured, started monitoring, etc. Active check, passive check, we just now discussed, no? And I'll be checking this with you tomorrow. Again, what is active check, passive check? So we were not answering, so they have to donate to COVID Modi. Yeah, just kidding. Right. So now this notification enable event handlers and all these things we'll discuss and then the coming session, probably next tomorrow sessions. On the right hand side, we have this host commands. So in case we want to stop monitoring this server, schedule down, because deployments mostly people will go for downtime, no production window, or likewise, they generally silence this entire alerts. Otherwise, whole world will get alerts. Then if it's a production server, then everybody will call you. What happening with our environment, right? Yeah. So here now top left hand side, not under navigation, but here on these details, we could see status details for this host. So when I click on this status details for this host, it is now redirected to a more detailed page. So under the local host, by default, Nagios is configured a few checks. One is current load, current users, HTTP, but showing us warning. We don't know what is exactly. We'll talk about how to troubleshoot this issue. Now ping, root partition, space, SSH, swap uses. Why swap is showing critical? Because Amazon Cloud generally don't configure swap in their machine. That's the reason. And then number of processes running, all the details. Some of them are green, yellow, and red based on the warning and the criticality. So if you click on this again, it will go to the detailed thing about the load and all that stuff. Anyway, we will talk about that later. Now come back to our navigation. So we have seen host now. Go to the services. Services is again the same section. Directly bookmark to the detailed services on the host. So in case if you have multiple servers, all servers will be expanded and then displayed in the service section. Host group. So we have not created any group, but in case you have Linux servers, we have Windows servers, we have database servers, web servers, we can group them and they will be displayed on this page group wise, so that application wise you can group them manually. So that let's say one application is there, Facebook, like all Facebook servers related the nodes will be displayed in one section. And what else we have? Under the host groups, we have summary and then grid, different pages, and then service groups, summary, grid. There are no service groups, of course. Now these are just problems. Currently in my environment, what are the services which is having problems? So in case you have 100 servers and 100 servers, we really don't know which service is having problem. No, all that can be at single page we can view. So you can now address, let's say you are in shift now. As soon as you come to shift, first thing is you'll check it out, like what are the problems right now. Or if somebody is complaining that, hey, this application is not working, what do? Better you come to this and then check the services. So what are the problems are there? So now try to filter it out, the service related to that application, and then is it space issue or service is down or server is down or the application is down? First of all, investigation starts from here, right? And then there is another section called unhandled. So what is unhandled is, in case if I am in the shift, if this alert I'm working, so probably again acknowledge this alert. So when I acknowledge this alert, yeah, that means I'm owning this particular stuff, and then I'll take care of that. So for example, HTTP is the alert I'm checking on. So I'll click on this thing, and then there is an option called acknowledge this service. So my team will be knowing that, okay, so and so person is working on that thing, so that not everybody jump on the same issue. So you can go to unhandled and see what are the alerts which so far nobody attended, so that now you can attend that particular issue. Same thing you categorize under host, etc. And network outages. In case if there are some outages at the network side, that's the most pain area. We will be checking everything from our server side. Everything is fine, but if users are complaining that application is not working, where is the issue? Issue could be at network side. So in case if that is the case, then all this network outages stuff can be checked out. And quick search is, I have so many servers in my environment. Okay, so then it will be difficult for me to really find out which server, if it is not grouped properly. Then I can quickly search for that node. So I can search for that stuff and then start checking out here. Now this is the reports, availability reports, So I can create my own reports, last 7 days, and then this one, and then trending reports. We talked about, no? We've seen some of those pictures, no? So we can apply those reports, service related, all this stuff. Of course, we don't have anything in our system right now. You can period out today, last 24 hours, and then the report will be generated. Historic report, history, and reports are available, can be generated, customized, and etc. And this is system related. System means my Nagios server itself. Comments, downtime. If somebody scheduled downtime, some alerts, no. So we'll be knowing. If you want, you can remove those scheduled downtime. Somebody forgets to remove that. Some process info related about Nagios. Program version is 4.3.4. When was it started? 12th May, and so on so time. Do you really, with the program said you really want to disable notifications, or you want me to restart Nagios, you want me to shut down Nagios? That is also can be done from this section at a system layer. Or downtime, performance info about this Nagios checks, intervals. By default, how many checks configured, less than a minute, a service actively checks. So we can customize this anyway at the backend. But all these things also can be viewed here. And scheduling queue, at regular interval, it will be monitoring few things. So what is the queue right now? So this is next, this is at this 12:1, it will check. It will do this one. System timings, anyway, this is. So these are all checks right now in the queue. Finally, the configuration section. I want to view the configuration of so and so host or a service. So who is subscribed? So can I see the email address? Yes, this is like admin group. So they are subscribed to all these alerts. So all that configuration details of that stuff also can be filtered out and seen here. Okay, so this is all about the Nagios user interface from the browser like point of view. Now, in the backend, we will try to explore the folder structure. So we just now learned Nagios is installed under user local Nagios. First thing is, I'm interested to know the folder structure. Then later we will try to explore how to configure alert, an email address subscription, and then I want to see an alert in my inbox. So that we will do practicals later. So first, try to understand the folder structure. Always remember any package, we need to know where it is installed, which folders it is installed, which file is responsible for what changes can be done at where, all that stuff. No, so user local Nagios is the location where it was installed. So your min etc include library has been shared. So many folders are there inside this stuff. So I'm going to the etc folder. So where I'm under USR local Nagios etc folder. So the main configuration file of my entire Nagios is this nagios.cfg available under etc. This is the central file. So yesterday, a day for yesterday, we were checking HTTPD, no? HTTPD.conf is the main configuration file. Similarly, here it is nagios.cfg. So let me just edit this nagios.cfg. So this is where the logs of this Nagios will be located. So in case if you want to troubleshoot, you can check it out here. And these are the different configuration files. One is command.cfg, contacts, time periods, templates. So now what is this command.cfg? For example, I have a database server and database is running by name, like let's say it's a Oracle database or MySQL database. So first thing what I'll do, my Nagios don't know what is MySQL or Oracle. I'll download the respective plugins. So, and then I'll start configuring a command.clg first using the plugin. Then I'll be configuring a service check. That is how I'll be deploying or configuring a new plugin in my existing Nagios system. And the second one is contact.clg. So who want to receive alerts? There will be developers, there will be application support, monitoring, engineering. So whoever wants to get an alert, first thing is we have to define their email address under contacts. And you have an option to group them. Let's say that these are DevOps engineers, these are database engineers, etc. Group them. And that grouping and everything defining is done in the contact.clg file. And the next one is time periods.clg. So I want to set up a time period called 24/7. That means tomorrow I want to configure an alert using this time period called 24/7. That means it will be monitored 24/7. No, I don't want to configure a 24/7 check. 9 to 5, Monday to Friday is only what I want to configure alert. So you come to this time period, define your own custom check, custom time period, Monday to Friday. I don't want to even receive alerts in public holidays. I don't want to receive alerts in weekends. So you define your own time periods or US calendar or local Indian calendar, holidays you want to follow. So you can create your own time period. That is done in the time periods. Now the next one is templates. By default, from scratch, everything it is difficult to define everything Nagios. No? So what Nagios has done, they have actually some templates. So it is already there deployed. That is the reason you are able to see that CPU, memory, networking, everything by default. No, all that stuff is configured under templates.clg. So now this is about the first defining the servers or host, local host or remote host database server. So how do you define this? So by looking at this thing, what we understood is Nagios is actually object-driven program. Means we have to define object, let's say database server, and then define template or define time period, define contacts, define commands, and create a relationship. That's it. So it's all about those objects. So you can, this is the main configuration, self-explanatory file. So today, you please try to go through this file. It will be very useful for doing the remaining exercises. Now this is Windows. In case I have Windows servers, so I have to be configuring. Right now it is commented out because we don't have any Windows servers. This is in case switch printers, and then so many things are available. And this is the cache location. So in real time, there will be a lot of objects. Just now discuss objects. Nagios are all object definition. So whenever you restart Nagios, you actually what is doing? You actually has to load all those objects once again. So it is a time-taking period. So really difficult. So if my Nagios want to read from this cache, it will be easy to come up the Nagios server, restarted and come up, right? Easy, that very quick. So this is the cache stuff. This is about some pre-cache object file, pre-process your entire object configuration file. I have no need to compile once again. This is a resource file. So all those resources which we are going to define and the content and all that stuff, can we look into this particular stuff? Like for example, plugin location, everything is defined here. And Nagios has to store the data, right? So at some location, all the checks, services, host, it will store. So that it can read and process that, the CGI, the web UI. So this is like, as stated that DAT file where it will be storing. Of course, if you restart Nagios, you'll be losing all the data from here. And what interval it has to be updated? This is your 10 seconds. I want to update this file at every 10 seconds. So Nagios user through which it is running, and this is group. Anyway, we already installed using this only, no? So there will be no issues. If I want to have an external command to specify whether by default I want to check it out those external system, I want to allow the Nagios to use that or not. So if you put 0, it will disable. And then this is the external command file. Yeah, this is your query log file, temporary file, path, event broker option, what data gets into the event broker, modules. So where the log has to be archived, because logs is like a space, it occupies a lot of spaces. So you need at every regular interval, it's every day it has to zip and store in some archive location. So that is the path where it will store. Syslog, log notification. If you don't want notification to be logged, you can disable that by the way. So these are all event handlers. What has to be logged and what should not be logged at the Nagios layer. So yeah, so a lot of stuff. I'm actually coming out of this file for now, but in case you're interested, you can go through this file. So yeah, so we are a little familiar with these files now. This is the main configuration file. Resource.cfg file is also, it is mentioned here, right? What it contains the plugin path, mostly the plugin paths. And where is the this is plugins part, where in case where are the event handlers? Event handlers right now it is commented, it is not used. That is here. And then likewise, you can see a lot of stuff. And also what else we have, like HD password users. We just configured one username password, no, or Nagios admin. So basically it is stored in this file. Of course, password is encrypted. How do you change the password? Use the same command which I've given, HD password and all the stuff. So if you want to change the password, you can change the password here. And this is about the CGAs, how that web interface has to behave. I want to put a security. No, I don't want to use a login local username password, but I want to synchronize with my company LDAP. So those details can be configured here, CGA stuff, security stuff, authentication. Can I customize? Can I have my own view? So not everybody should have access to admin, system timings and everything. So that is all can be customized and configured by reading and going through this cg.cfg file. So now let's go to the objects folder. This is where a lot of our things which were discussed now, command.cfg, contacts.cfg. So localhost. So start with localhost. If you look at here, localhost, this is where the host is defined. So why my machine is showing the localhost? Go to your browser. Why it is showing this localhost? Because it is defined here under the localhost.cfg. Localhost, it is given. Alias also same. And what was the IP address of this localhost? I mean, this is the self loopback IP address. And what is this one? This is actually the Linux server template. The name of the template to be used to configure this particular Linux server. Okay, now where is this template there? So come out of this file. Go to templates file. So what is the name it was? It was Linux server, right? Just scroll down this file. Somewhere it will be configured. Yeah, here it is. It's a definition. So this is your Linux server. Again, this is inherited from another template called generic host, which is configured only on top of this section only. Just scroll up, see generic host. So what it is contains, notification enable, means any alerts it is generating, all those things will be notified to the users. So event handlers enable, we just now seen all that options, flap detection. So we have seen active and passive. Flap is what? But let's take an example that you have a username CPU monitoring. So CPU monitoring is configured in such a way that as soon as it reaches 60%, it should alert. Okay, so let me just this is a alert stuff. Now we define like that. Okay, now this is your 60% alert. Now you defined one more boundary that as soon as it reaches 80%, it should throw critical alert. So something like, you configured, where do you configure all of it? We'll see that. We'll check out later. So what is this flap detect will do, right? So generally it will not, suppose it is as soon as it reaches, let's say 60 warning alert, it will not immediately give you alert. Okay, it has to be there for like few seconds based on the time period which you configured. And within that time period, let's say it's like you configured for 5 seconds. Only then send out an alert. That is how you configure. Okay, that is fine. You got an alert. But in another case, what happens? It actually exceeded this warning or forget like critical alert. So, okay, and then it has to be there for 5 seconds. No, it did not there. Like immediately it is fallen down, like our Bombay Stock Exchange. So it is only there for 2 seconds. Okay, and then again it is crossed, but this time also it is only 2 seconds. Like it's fluctuating. Okay, it is fluctuating. So in that case, what's our logic says 5 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds, right? 5 seconds it is not staying. It's only 2 seconds or 3 seconds or 1 second. So you're not getting alerts. But actually looking at this picture, the node is having some problem, right? So the graphs are not good. So in that case, my logic, this flap detection will be coming into picture. So it will say that, hey user, there is some flap detection. We have checked like last 24 checks. So historical data will be there. So last 24 checks it will check. And then there is some problem here. There is a flap detection in CPU or memory utilization. So just go and check it out. So that is actually all about flap detection. Yeah, any questions on that? Okay. Anyway, I'll be asking questions tomorrow on this. I'll come with Modi's COVID URL donation also. And at any screen share you have to donate. Okay. Okay. So interesting. So this is performance data. So this is template actually. So notification is period is 24/7. That means 24/7 it will monitor. So why is this register is showing us 0? I'm saying that, hey, this is an object, it's okay, but this is not that something you need to register and I'm going to use this thing in my real time and all these things. It's not that in a real definition or object or a host here. It's just a template. So that's the reason I'm supplying this as a register 0. This is like looking like your C++ program. I think if you know programming knowledge, having knowledge, right? It is looking like that. Yeah, exactly. Because it is actually object driven based, inherited by this class. Which class? Linux server. Yeah. So this is inherited by this class. Well, let me clear this by the way. All right. So all drawings. Yeah. So this is actually the Linux server. Now come out of this template. don't want to spend too much time. Now go to the local host. So all that whatever it is configured now is inherited here when I define this host. Okay. So what we do, we'll just end with configuring one extra node. So I want to configure one extra node. So what I'll do, I'll just define host. But I don't have an extra node. Anybody after you having any node, you can give any node. Here Nagios server is also fine. I just need your IP address of that machine. Yeah. Who is contributing? Monica, like you're there still?
Yeah.
Okay. So give me your IP address. Is it, by the way, it's still connected to internet?
It is connected, but it is showing that looks like this IP address has closed the connection. And again, I have when logged into Putty again, because at that time Putty was disconnected. Again, it looks like this IP address has closed the connection.
Oh, that's okay. I think Rakesh given me. I am using that. So this is Rakesh Nagios server. Okay. So this is alias, not mandatory stuff. That's Rakesh server. Address of that machine. There's a public IP because I'm using public IP. So with respect to your domain, I can access it, right? As simple as that. So save this file. I'm just adding one extra node. So because some changes done to this Nagios, you can restart Nagios, but restarting we just now learned, right? In case you have thousands of objects in your real time, it will be killing your entire environment. So I just want to reload. So what is reload will do? It only reload the configuration. It will not restart the actual Nagios daemon. Okay. So now go back to my browser. So I should get a new host now. So it is displaying. Why it is in pending? Because queue. We go to queue. Where was queue? Here is downtime processing for scheduling queue. Yeah. So what time it will check? 12:26, something like that. And it is scheduled likewise. That time it will be checking. So because the interval, the template interval is like that. So then once it is 12:26, what is system time? Just check it out. Okay, it's already time. I think now it should display. Here we go. Okay, it's showing us down. Rakesh, like your machine is up and running, right?
Yes, Raghu. I'm able to access Nagios as well.
Okay, 1 second. So what's IP address? Ping. Let me get that IP address. Ping 54.2226. 54.226.
7.27.
Yeah. So in your Amazon console, I think ping is disabled. So can you go to a security group and ICMP rule enable?
Yeah, sure.
So we'll see that, so whether it's pinging or not.
All right.
The security group, just
shall I add a new rule now?
Yeah, add a edit in inbound rule and add that ICMP.
ICMP IPv4, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Okay, it enables all the ports.
Yeah, you can enable all the ports also. Yeah, it's pinging now.
Done.
Yeah, it's pinging. So we can look at it. So you just disabled that ICMP. So it is just now enabled and we getting the response. Now go back to my
Is your voice breaking only?
So anyway, again that 10 seconds. Was it? Yeah, you still with me?
Yeah. Last a few seconds.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay. So what I'm saying that now it is pinging. The IP address is pinging. So I'm coming to host. Yeah. Now can you see? It is showing us up and running.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I click on this, when I click on status details, I don't see CPU memory and all these things because I'm not configured that. Okay. So yeah, that's fine. So we will try to configure everything and then tomorrow's session. Yeah. So that's all from my end. Any questions from anyone?
So this is the question. Why this server is not spinning up when I'm putting this web address in the bar? It is not responding. So
Was it?
is it because of the firewall issue or some other reason?
Let's troubleshoot otherwise. So do you have some time now?
Yes.
Okay. So others, like in case if you want to drop off, in case if you have any other meeting, you may drop off. After me and Monica will try to just work on the issue.
Raghu, I have one question.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, how this Nagios differ from AWS CloudWatch trial?
Oh, very good question. See, CloudWatch is a monitoring solution from Amazon, which is a paid service.
Okay.
So what we are
This is
doing
open
here,
source.
yeah, we are not learning anything in AWS here. We are learning DevOps open source tools. But we install Nagios on a AWS machine, and using that, we are trying to set up our own monitoring domain.
Okay, clear.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, any other questions from anyone? Okay, yeah. So yeah, so others, like thank you for joining today. So hope you have all those commands. Just in case, anyway, I'll be sharing the notes also, that installation, my classroom notes. Anyway, you can download that also from official documentation. Try to set up the Nagios. So tomorrow we will be doing some exercises on that. I'll be giving you some tasks as well, how to develop our own plugins, new checks, etc. Yeah. Thank you. So you can stay or you can log off. So yeah, Monica, I'm giving you permissions. Yeah, Monica. So you want to do a screen share?
Yeah, can you see this?
Yeah. No, I can. Yeah.
So everything was configured as per the commands that you have shared. And when I have done this curl ifconfig.code, this is the IP that was generated. This is the same IP that is generating every time. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. I
Right?
see. So can you go back? Can you go to that? What do you call Amazon console? AWS console. Yeah. First, we will rule out from there. Where is the issue? So are you there in AWS console?
This one, right?
No. I'm only saying that page cannot find stuff.
Okay. Okay. Can't you see the? Oh, I have already opened it.
Okay. Yeah. You have to stop the screen sharing and share the entire what do you call desktop. Yeah.
Now can you see?
Now I can see AWS console. Yeah, perfect. So
That was like one page.
okay. So it is go to the security groups.
Security groups.
Just scroll down.
This one. Launch wizard.
Yeah, launch wizard. Click on the launch wizard one. Just we'll try to see whether the ports are open or not. Okay, Click on the inbound, bottom section. Click on the inbound rule. Edit.
SSH.
Edit. Yeah, add HTTP. So,
Okay. At
HTTP.
that time, I think my connection went off. HTTPS or HTTP?
We don't have only HTTP. Yeah. And source you can choose anywhere. Just drop down.
This one.
Anywhere. Yeah. Save it.
Even in the browser, Monica has given HTTPS.
Yeah, I have seen that also. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I haven't touched it. This thing actually I have lost in between.
Okay. Okay.
My net
So
went
now,
off then when I connected it. Okay.
yeah,
Sorry.
even
Hmm.
yeah. Now this this security group we have enabled. Now go to that browser and also change that to HTTP. Okay, proceed. Click on proceed. Okay, Nagios admin. Admin, no
Space
space.
or-
No, I think that's the default user. Yeah. Password. Have you given any password?
Yeah.
Test or something. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah. If it is bank password, no, ping me.
But I won't give the other details, right? Okay, thank you so much. And second most important thing is, though I'll go through the recording, but I have actually lost you back up,
Yeah.
long back.
Yeah.
So should I stop sharing that? So
Yeah, please.
this thing in the last, you have told about, all the configurations that we can go through. So what I have understood that majority of the things are, in the back end, because in the when I'm going to open this server, right? So I can, when I'm going to click, the default parameters and all are set up over there, and you have just shown us that this is how it works. And if I have to add another nodes, I can do the configuration.
Correct. Yes, that's it. Yeah. So tomorrow we will be doing some advanced configuration there. So that is where we need to be expertise.
But suppose if I have a application which I have to monitor correct using this service. So at that time there are certain points which I get to know. Otherwise, it's not important to understand the details of what is the default value. And I think that would not be
Yeah, because I think you are dealing with applications because you're a developer, I guess. So probably there will be some services, right? So how do you monitor that services? That you need to know. And then from Nagios, we will try to learn that how first of all what are the requirement to set up that monitoring, and then how do you customize? What is the business need? And then how do you interact? How do you link that? So that we will try to explore tomorrow.
Sure.
So probably you can come with some use case. I'll see. I mean, I really am. I'm not expert in your end domain, but I'll try to help you how to set up a monitoring for that.
Okay, thank you so much, Raghu, and also read through the wikis and all.
Yeah, no welcome. Yeah.
And thanks for this.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thank you. So have a good rest of the evening. So we'll catch up tomorrow then.